we are doing a Q&A down Wind Whistle today, all four of us. I thought we'd just do a quick Q&A, as you know, I've not graced you with one from myself for a while.
How successful have you been since your last Q&A?
Oh, very. Well, it's been a while. I think we've had a trip to Broadlands, which was okay. We won the head-to-head, which me and Dale won. Very successful. I think I ended on 17 in the end. A few sessions here and there to Flea and Headlands. Yeah, pretty successful.
Have you beaten your PB since your last Q&A?
No, not since our first Broadlands trip. That's still currently my PB. So, no, I haven't.
What is your preferred rig of choice?
My preferred rig? I think at the minute, where I'm starting to learn to be able to tie more rigs and new rigs, same as Kyle, he uses the pre-made Corda rigs, so I use those for now until I learn more rigs and try more rigs on the new lakes.
Has your preferred bait changed since your last Q&A?
Yes, yeah, I think it was back then, it was Manila, but I think I've overused that quite a lot now, so I'm trying to branch out to new baits. I'm finding a lot of success on the Sonia baits, method feeder rigs or method feeder baits. So yeah, I think it definitely has changed.
What size leads do you use?
Anything from 3.5 to 4 ounce leads. I think they're quite ideal on most lakes to go to. I think anything less than that personally is not really worth using. I think they're too light.
What is your preferred tackle brand?
Ooh, preferred tackle brand. I think at the minute it's probably Sonia baits. I think Sonia baits are leading the way for me.
How has the channel and social platforms grown since your last Q&A?
I think we've done quite well. Recently hit 2k followers on Instagram, which was quite nice. Slowly hitting the milestones and slowly growing, bigger and bigger as a brand, and we've brought Kyle in to expand. So hopefully only going up from here.
What is your advice on beating the heat?
Oh, beating the heat, that's a killer. Plenty of shade, if either it be an umbrella under the trees, brolly system. Always wear a cap, I've always got one in my bag. Plenty of sun cream, and if you've got some, sunglasses as well, especially with the glare on the water.
On a day like this, what is your advice on beating the cold?
Oh, plenty of layers, sensible clothing. Don't be one of them crazy anglers and wear shorts and t-shirts. It's going to do you no good. Cut the pairs of socks. See, the boots come in handy. Jackets. Yeah, any sensible clothing really. Just wrap up. You don't want to be cold. That's the last thing you want on the bank.
Any advice for night fishing?
Oh, night fishing. Hot meals. You always got to have your hot meals. Plenty of bait. Obviously, charge your headlamps and your lamps, so you don't want to be casting in the dark, as some people have experienced. They've lost their rigs on the first cast. But yeah, plenty of light. Don't go too close to the edge, especially if it's wet, because you might take a slip down into the drink.
Would you recommend speaking to other anglers at the lake?
Yes, 100%. You may think you know enough about a lake, but especially the older guys or older women as well, they fish the lakes. They could have fished it for years. They've always got experience, and you should always be open to learning new things.
If it's your first time fishing a lake, how do you decide where to set up?
I think wherever you get the vibe from, it doesn't, I don't think any swims can be better than the other. It just depends on how the lake's been fishing. You could be turn up to a lake, it'd be full up, you could have probably the worst swim, but you could catch the most fish. So I think it's just how you prepare, how you go about your bait placement, and if the fish are feeding that day, you could drop it right in between the school fish, and you could be racking them out all day long.
What lakes would you recommend for new anglers?
I think it depends where you are. Obviously for us, we've got quite a few lakes for newer anglers. Obviously Flea, Headlands, they're good for new anglers or seasoned anglers or whatnot. But I think have a little look around, look for ideal starter lakes, and just depend on your local area and how far you want to travel.
What advice would you give someone who's new to fishing?
Soak up as much advice as you can. Obviously, do some research, find what's going to work for you. Fishing's not a cheap hobby, but if you're passionate about it and you want to learn, the world's your oyster. You can learn as much as you want or as little as you want in however much time you have. Thank you. Until the next one.